Hello everyone, my name is SiC. Welcome back to Humankind and the Together We Rule DLC, our first official expansion pack. Before we move on, I'd like to point out that I currently have a Ko-fi page set up where if you want to, you can directly support the channel by giving a monthly or a one-time donation, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's jump back in. We almost have an artisan's quarter ready to go. I think we're building the porcelain quarter right here, and indeed we are. So let's get that done. Next turn we should also have enough influence to build our second city, which is very exciting. Now let's have a look. These territories could be connected together. So if we build a city here in Merope, we could add Okab to that, and Superba could be for both of them, I guess. I'm not entirely sure yet what I want to do, but let's have a look. Merope here has 14 industry, 6 food. La Superba, 13 food, 7 industry, so it's kind of opposite of each other. They kind of balance out. Okab over here, -4 food and 3 industry, because it is at its maximum population, and as a result, it's going to lose population every turn, because, you know, there's no way to support it. There's no place to put it. Yeah, first of all, actually decent enough food, I suppose. It's not great, but it's not bad. Industry is pretty good. I think we'll be making a second city here, also because it directly borders San Lorenzo. So it's a good jumping off point for any future wars that we might engage in. That also gives us an expansionist star. And with that, we now have enough stars to move on to the next era. Though we probably don't want to do that yet, because there's more era stars to gain, right? We could hook up another territory to Urim here, and that would give us another expansionist star, I think. Unfortunately, we don't have enough influence to do it this turn, but we can do it next turn. There's no problem, you know. Then at that point, I probably want to build the Eduba, because if we do want to move on, it's best to make sure that we have an Eduba set up, because afterwards we cannot build another one. And plus 10 science right here at the cost of just -1 industry, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. I'll take it. Right, and then Unuk over here. We're losing food. We need to do something in terms of food. Now, we could get animal barns. This gives us +6 food because we have a horse or horses under our control. We could also get +4 food in the same amount of turns. Obviously, that is not as good. We could also alternatively build a farmer's quarter, but that is going to take us 6 turns to do, which I don't want. So, yeah, animal barns. Animal barns it is. Now let's have a look. 3 peoples are already moving on to the next era. So we have the Achaemenid Persians, the Carthaginians, and the Axumites. What is left are the Romans, the Maya, the Mauryaans, the Huns, the Han, the Goths, the Celts, the Greeks, the Nazca, the Garamantes, and we could continue on as Sumerians if we transcend. But for now, I think we're not going to do it quite yet. We just need to kill 1 more military unit, and unfortunately I don't see that happening anytime soon. It would be nice, but actually let's go ahead and move this unit over here so we can take care of that sanctuary. It gives us some extra money. But yeah, I don't think we will be moving on to a war anytime soon, but we can finish a technology. We will do so in 2 turns, and that will give us the scientist star, and on the next turn we will have enough influence to connect up a territory, which will give us the expansionist star. Let's go ahead and end that turn. We'll move these guys on. Now, the struggle for dominion. The capital is the empire's true seat of power, but now other cities with energetic populaces rise to prominence. Their leaders and other influential figures want sway over the empire's affairs, and the question of who wields power must be answered. We could get +1 city cap, or +25 stability on the capital, at the cost of 48 influence, but we don't want that right now. We want to make sure that we attach La Superba or Okab over here. Now Okab is actually running a deficit in food. It's not great or beneficial for us to attach it, but La Superba over here, +12 food, +7 industry. We are going to attach that one to Urim over here. That gives us our expansionist star. And with that we get a little bit more fame, and we're catching up a little bit to the number 1 at 1114 fame. And as you can see, they have the maximum amount of era stars that they need to advance. They haven't done so far. The second one, the person in second place, seems to have done so, however, because they have as much fame, or yeah, just a little bit more, but generally the same amount. But they have no era star, so they are one of the people that advance to the next age. We will station you here. And then we have the flooded lands. A whole season's rains must have fallen in a day and night. Crazy stories abound of swimming livestock, makeshift bathing houses, and overflowing latrines. But thanks to your efforts, only a small part of Unuk has been genuinely impacted by the flood. We've got soggy. The flooding's widespread across Unuk, but it might have been far, far worse. So we lose a little bit of everything for 10 turns, which is unfortunate. But it could have, like they said, it could have been far worse. It's not the worst possible outcome. Meanwhile, organized warfare has finished. With that, we can now reinforce battles with other armies. We can build the barracks for a minus 10% on unit industry cost. And we can build siege weapons when we siege a city. And of course, we now have the era star. Now let's have a look. Agrarian stars, we need 3 more population. In 47 turns, that is really bad. As for science, we could probably drop another person on here. Then we go to 8 turns, that is much better. As for Unuk, 1 turn for another population. But we need a total of 3 more. Ooh, and more people are taking things over here. So the Carthaginians have been taken, the Axumites have been taken, the Celts, the Mauryans, and Achaemenid Persians. We might actually want to go ahead and grab a territory now. Or grab the next civilization, I mean. I don't know what I was saying. Let's see, a civics osmosis. We can replace or refuse it. Basically, our neighbors here in San Lorenzo, they have codified laws. And direct opposition to what we have. So we could replace what we have with what they have. And our ideological proximity with Kunmu will increase. Or we can refuse it at the cost of minus 50 stability on this city. But I'm going to refuse it. That is a huge impact. That is really unfortunate. But we're going to deal with it. Right, these guys are continuing to move on. That is nice. Andes discovered. Discovered the stunning Andes Mountains by Queen Mu. Alright, so that is it. It's not a natural wonder. It's just a huge mountain range, which is significant in the world generation, but it doesn't really provide any benefits, I suppose. Alright, so Midas reached the classical era, going from the Zhao to the Celts. Alright, interesting. As for research, we have 2 options left, irrigation or sailing. But let's have a look to where these things lead. So we could go towards hydrology, but to get hydrology, we need irrigation. As for sailing, sailing is pretty much a dead end, and I don't think we will do any sailing. And the fishmonger also doesn't help us because we don't have any harbors up and running. So, irrigation it is. Yeah, let's end this turn. Let's see how long it takes for another population to show up. -1 in 1 turn because we don't have the food. But if we put this person on there, then it takes 3 turns for that to end. As for money, we can drop another person there, and now we're making some food again. But +1 in 11 turns. Urim in 7 turns. I don't think we're going to be able to get this. Though we only need 1 more. We could pay for the animal barn straight off, and then we could make a military unit. An Agaush would be a decent move, I think. And with that, we should get an agrarian star. Hopefully. Alright, so that is done. Sailing is next. These guys are going to burn down the sanctuary for +34 money. And then actually we might want to grab this territory since nobody else currently owns it. 10-7. Let's see, what's the most beneficial place for us to put down a outpost? 5-10, 7-7, 8-7, 6-5. So far, 8-11. That's the way to go, I would say. All right. With that down, the OCAP over here can actually also get us the saffron, which I should have gotten ages ago. +2 food on Farmer's Quarter and +5% food in all cities. As a wondrous effect. We don't have it as a wondrous effect currently, but that will definitely help with the food supply. Agrarian stars and builder stars. So if we build one more district, we will also get another arrow star. Now on the next turn we will finish our Eduba, which will actually trigger this, which is great. Let's end the turn.
You have marched out your first emblematic unit. Congratulations.
So we have a builder star.
To keep them alive.
And now we are in the #1 place because we waited for a little while to gather these other stars, which the other guys did not. You know, they moved on as quickly as possible, which is now to their detriment. We could build another Eduba as well, +10 over here, so at the cost of -1 industry, but that's not bad. Ooh, but this is not great for stability. This, however, takes a really long time to build, which is really unfortunate. We need to boost production here. In terms of money, we could drop another person on industry, chase this off to 4 turns, we'll move our army, and we could actually, yeah, we're going to refuse this as well. That is not great, but I think this just brings us back down to strained, or keeps us there, more or less. Now, the Agaush is going to get stationed here, because it really needs another Agaush to be effective. We did grab this territory, which is great, and then for production in Unuk here, we could build another. Yeah, we could build stone rings for faith. We can have a look at faith. We're not doing great, but we're also not getting any influence from them, so we could still get a benefit out of it. We could build another Eduba over here for the +8. That sets us up quite well for the future, I would say. What else? +6 industry over here. As for food, +6. +12, that's decent. Walls, actually, are also pretty good. +2 from wood, the lumberyard. +11 from the stoneworks. Oh, that is really good. But I think for now, let's actually build some palisades. Walls definitely will help us. Now, current value 22. Crap. Alright, so yeah, that doesn't help us. Let's actually go on to the next age before we lose too many choices. We could go with a lot of different ones actually still. We could go with the Romans, which allows us to have bigger armies and 50% experience gain on units. We could get the Triumphal Arch for +5 industry and stability, as well as 50 fame on constructible on victorious city. +50 fame on constructible. What is a constructible? Anything, I guess, that we could build, as long as we are victorious. And then the Praetorians, the Praetorian Guard, tactical superiority, grants bonus combat strength if at least one allied unit is adjacent to this unit's target. Okay. That relies on us having more people than the enemy, which I don't think is going to be true. The Maya, +2 industry per workers and city outpost is really good. A tireless spirit for the Maya. Great feature of architecture, honor the majesty of the cosmos. Then we could also build a Kuna, which gives us +3 industry per number of attached territories. So if one city has 3 attached territories, we could get +9. +2 faith, it also provides +4 industry per adjacent maker's quarter, so that's pretty damn strong if we build more maker's quarters around the Kuna. But then we have noble javelineers, which is not as strong because it's not yeah, it's a ranged unit, which is nice, but they basically have a direct throwing pattern like guns. You know, we don't shoot it up into the air and go over other units like an archer would. They do, however, have a poison status to the target, which reduces its movement speed and attack range, which is kind of nice. As for the Huns, the Hunnic Horde requires 2 horses, which we don't have and I don't think we can get. Basically, these are a very warlike people, but I don't think it's going to be much use for us right now. The +5 science and empire per unit in hostile territory is kind of interesting. This really makes you want to go to war. Now, the Han is one of the new expansion packs and new cultures that we can go or play. It gives us a permanent -20% on leverage actions cost, which is really nice, to be fair. It also gives us paper mill, +3 industry, counts as a maker's quarter, and it creates a new deposit of paper, which is automatically exploited. And paper gives us +3 science per paper when a leverage intel is collected. So every time we collect intel, we get a bit of science as well. And their unique unit is the Lian Nu Bing, which is a ranged unit carrying a crossbow. And they have a special ability, a repeating crossbow volley. Stronger attacks after the unit spends a round defending. So if you wait 1 turn with attacking, then after that you get much better. But I don't think that's really useful. We could go for something else. The Goths, again, a very warlike people. The Greeks, +2 science per researchers on city or outpost. It's kind of nice, you know, keeps us going with our current science-focused build, I suppose. The Amphitheatron, meanwhile, gives us +1 influence per era, +3 science per era, and +2 science per adjacent district. So that is actually quite strong for science as well. And then we get the hoplites, which we can make as long as we research standing army. And they have phalanx, grants additional combat strength for each unit with the phalanx ability adjacent to this unit. So now I'm curious if we actually get that from the Agaush as well. We might not. And meanwhile, I really need to go to the toilet, so I'll be right back. Alright, now that I can think again, let's continue looking through our options. The Nazca are a DLC unit for South America, actually. And they have written in the land a +1 bonus to emblematic districts on territories containing a natural wonder. We do not currently own any natural wonders, I think. And I haven't seen any. So that is not that great for us. Their unique emblematic district is the Nazca Lines, which provide +2 influence and +1 faith, and counts as a religious district, and they get headhunters, a melee unit that has shared ardor. When this unit destroys an enemy in battle, it inspires all its allies and provides them with an ardor bonus. Interesting. Then we have the Garamantes. The flower that blossoms in the desert can blossom anywhere. +5 influence on main plaza if the city is growing, so that relies on us having a lot of food. But then they have the Fogara. +3 food, +2 food per adjacent sterile terrain. Well, that's pretty cool, actually. And then the +1 food on exploitation, count as a farmer's quarter, and they have javelin riders. They are ranged and they can move after attacking. Out of all of these, I probably like the Maya the best, except for the unique units. But you know what? Maybe we should go for the Han, because they are unique to the expansion. So this is the first time we can actually play with them. And the -20 on leverage action cost seems really powerful in the future. So the paper mill provides us with a bit of extra industry. We get extra science every time we get some extra intel on enemies. Or leverage, I should say, and this actually could be interesting to play with as well. So let us adopt the Han. Alright, as for these guys, let's actually explore the last bit of the land here, so that we know exactly what we own. Alright, so nothing too special there. And then let's end the turn.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability. Where intangibles meet the practical, the Han really excelled, like the fine art of diplomacy and crossbow production.
All right. So we have some new unique buildings, which is cool. And actually I just really need to quickly check if my microphone is actually recording sound, because I'm looking at my recording and I seem to be missing sound. Well, let's have a look. Alright, that doesn't seem to be a problem. The sound is just fine. However, we have another problem. War was declared by the ruler Mu Qiang of the Olmecs. They have 100 war support compared to my 50, which is not great. But the Olmecs are up here. So I actually don't see any troops right now, which means that we can actually move the troops that we do have up north a little bit further before they actually show up, which is great. Meanwhile then, we have technology left to research. So let's actually go to the technology screen and let's have a look. We would need craftsmanship to get the Lian Nubing. And since we are at war, we might actually want to go for something like that. We could get +3 money on the main plaza for trade expeditions, as well as naval transports, which replaces land units which embark to travel across ocean tiles, which is actually really nice as well. So let's go ahead and get trade expeditions and then move on to craftsmanship so that we can get access to the Lian Nubing. As for the Edubai here, actually we could pay some money to get it finished and then we will make a unit. Let us get, what do we have here? A warrior, scouts. I'm tempted to get an Agaush and then after that we might consider archers, but I just need some people to hold the line, I think. So let's end the turn right there. Also, I'm curious how we're actually doing with Dur Kurigalzu. At this point we have almost 50 influence, so on the next turn we could get one of these other things, agreements, I suppose. Alright, that is interesting. We have an enemy unit to the south. And we are close to... well, we are in battle actually right now. We get a science osmosis from being close to them, which is nice. We get a huge technology bonus. We really need these guys to help out in the battle, but these guys won't reach it for another 3 turns or 2 turns after this, which is really bad. Ooh, we have iron over here. That is good. That allows us to get stronger units, which is really, really nice. Mr. Unuk, do we want to attach another territory? We have a 13% surplus. We might just want to do it. Ooh, minus 27, because we have so many population now, I guess. Well, 11 out of 18. It's not the worst. We can actually put some more people on food production. We don't have a great need for money right now. We'll lose a population, but it's not the worst of outcomes. So we are being attacked. So we get reinforcements of levies in the city center. These guys look positively scared. They do not want to be in the fight. Oh man. Alright, so we do have walls, I think. Are the walls finished? I'm not actually even sure. We can't even see, but no, walls are not up and running. But there's no choice here, we need to fight. So we are evenly matched, we can try to hold on. What are they attacking us with? They have scout riders, warriors and javelin throwers. Oh, these are, they moved on to Aztecs, I guess. they're the Olmecs for now. That's interesting.
Welcome. What
Because maybe they have actually an embassy with someone else, and they get the diplomatic unit, because that is definitely an option. It's actually quite cool. This is the new embassy screen. We get access to it because we have an embassy. Now the leverage that we get from these people is shown here. So we have a total of 6 leverage. If we had 8 leverage, we could placate the Olmecs, and that would lose them -5 war support. So with that, you could use it to make sure that they don't really want to fight you. You could expel military forces, you can do a diplomatic ultimatum, expose undercover secrets, or apply economic sanctions, which is locked to certain ages. So this is medieval, this is early modern, this is contemporary. We could do this right now, but it's not available during war. We could also get agreements, so we can have a scientific correspondence, which basically gives us 10% cost reduction on technologies that the other empire already has. The arms deal allows you to build the units that they have, their unique unit. So this would give us the access to javelin throwers. Maybe they need to... this is kind of interesting that they have javelin throwers, but they're still Olmecs. Because javelin throwers came from the Aztecs, I think. So maybe on the next turn they will become Aztecs. Then you have monumental contractors. Signing empires are able to participate in each other's cultural wonder projects. Participating empires will choose between receiving money, influence, or leverage upon completion. That's kind of cool. Then they have diplomatic cooperation. Grants you 50% of all leverage from leverage intel obtained by the other empire. And then you have humanitarian aid. Plus 5% food and plus 5% industry on capital for 5 turns. Basically allowing each other's population to migrate to the capital. But unfortunately we are going to have to fight, and we are definitely going to do a manual battle of this. Let's have a look. Our warriors. Which are our warriors? These are our warriors. We definitely want them on the strongest position. There's not much we can do here, so we are going to end the deployment right there. Right, oh, and they have the archers back there. Now, fortunately for us, somehow we do have walls. Ooh, they just completely wiped these guys out. Alright, so we could... Ooh, this is really strong. We can attack these guys. We'll do it. And these guys are hidden. No opponent units have vision on this unit, so that is really cool. So we can keep them safe for a little while longer. We are definitely not going to be attacking with these guys, however. So everyone is going to go on the defense, giving them another turn. They still don't really see any units back here, which is great for us. This is definitely a case of holding out for us. Right, so they just took out this unit. Fortunately for us, the horses cannot move into the walls. So these units are just going to move up and replace the unit that we just lost. We did lose a scout unit in this, unfortunately. We can attack them again. That was a bit worse as an engagement for us, but yeah, we're going to keep everyone on the defense. These guys still invisible, so they're not getting attacked. Keeps the focus on our units over here. And these guys are going to get wiped out on the next turn. Which means I want them to move into position, I suppose. Though, maybe right here this would have been better, because then enemies would be attacking into them across the river. Let's go ahead and take out these horses. -14, that's a decent trade. These guys are going to go on the offensive, and that is the end of combat in this turn. So we're losing a little bit, but on the next turn we are getting reinforced by the Agaush, which hopefully we will be able to use to take out the archers in the back. And a little bit after that, hopefully we can get another group of warriors into the fight. Unuk finishes its wall, which is great. We move them into the battle. Alright, our warriors are getting very low on manpower, and unfortunately we have just lost this part of the city. Which means we definitely want these guys to come on in. This is interesting. Why would we go to the low ground and attack into them? We don't want that. We can go up into the high ground and attack into the archers from up there. Much better. Decent. Now these guys of course only really become strong when we have other Agaush next to them, which we don't right now. Oh man, do we really want to... I guess we could wipe out this unit over here. That would probably allow our warrior to survive, and our warriors are much more important to keep rather than what we have here, which are levies. The levies we don't really care about, but since they're automatically added units, right? So let's go to the enemy turn, let's see what they do. Alright, oh. They're going to attack these guys, huh? Wipe them out completely, that's okay. It's not great, but it allows our Agaush to get off the river and then attack into them from up on high. That's pretty decent. Now this would wipe out us both, which is really terrible. Unfortunately, I have to defend this tile, because if not, they will take this territory from me. I will not be able to kill them without significant losses, I think. So they're just going to have to defend to the last man. Oh, they wipe each other out. Alright, that is not the worst of outcomes, I suppose. Oh man, this is tooth and nail, really. We have one more turn. On the next turn, fortunately for us, we have the ability to have these warriors join the fight, which is definitely necessary. We could make a paper mill, or let's see what else we could do. We can make gold over here in 2 turns, which provides us with +1 food, +1 industry, +3 gold. And of course we would get another luxury resource, which is okay for free for 2 turns. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Now, conscripts or professional soldiers. I think +1 combat strength on units, since we probably will be building more than we will be building units, is the way to go here.
It does seem logical that people shouldn't have to do a job unless they want to.
And as for leadership, we can also go ahead and grab this. We can get +1 city cap, so we can make another city.
Most problems eventually yield to the onslaught of more brains.
Now we could always make another city, but we were at our maximum, and when we build another city past our maximum, we lose influence per turn, which is not great. As for Kurigalzu over here, we still have the most influence over them, but we cannot get profit sharing without... Ooh, that is a lot of influence. Nearly 300. Alright, so we definitely need more influence production. So Unug, actually we might want to go ahead and build another Agaush instead. Let's grab another population onto food. So you don't want to lose too many populations. Ein converted to a new religion, animism. Still a lot of animism going on. Our religion is very slow in moving on. Defeat siege at Urum. Oh really? Crap. We were not in time. The archers killed our Agaush. That really sucks. So we just lost Urum to the enemy. We will attack them on the next turn, because it seems we can do so and win almost immediately. But then we have another unique event. We have the Sands of Time. Recently, traveling across an antique desert land in the hinterlands of your empire, you came across a curious sight. 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone, beside which lied a shattered visage, and on the pedestal these words, "Look on my works and despair." Nothing beside remained. The image still haunts you to this day. Whoever raised the civilization is now forgotten. Any and all of their achievements gone, even their name lost to the winds. Today you reign supreme, the most famed leader in the world. Yep. And yet, will you still be remembered in a century, a millennium, an eon? How best to find immortality? Man, I just remembered that I saw the diplomat up here for just a second. We could have done a ceasefire on this territory. Man. Oh well. Yeah, we could preach, which gives us bountiful on 2 targets for 10 turns. Patriotic with right, and that moves us towards the homeland geopolitical axis. Or venerate, fanatical on 2 targets for 10 turns, which is plus 50% faith and minus 50% in industry cost on religious districts. We don't want that. Preach is kind of nice because it moves us further into the ideological axis, but we're already there, so it doesn't really help us that much. Right, however, does help us out. Also because we can more quickly make units. So let's go ahead and end this turn. That is okay. There's no units here, and we have taken control back of our own city, which is perfect, because that is also really good for the war support.
What do you want?
Them holding on to our city is really, really bad, and we need to grow our war support. Losing battles is incredibly bad for us right now. The Agaush definitely has to go ahead and attack these guys on the next turn, if they can. We will take 1 turn to finish the Artisan's Quarter, I suppose. But here, what do we want to do? Build another Agaush, I suppose. We need military units. The warriors are going to go ahead and station right there. And where are these guys going? We can go ahead and attack these guys, that is nice. They're running away. This gives us a little war support against them. Definitely needed. They lose 5, we gain 5, which is perfect. Now as for food, we need some more. We can go ahead and grab the granary for plus 8, or plus 14 on flood irrigation. This is a little bit quicker, so we might actually want to go with this, though the plus 14... Actually, you know what? Let's go with flood irrigation. Why not? Imago Mundi has been locked by another empire. Alright. They only have the 1 unit left, which are the javelin throwers. So they were not really in a position to reinforce or attack this city properly. The Agaush, meanwhile, need to hunt down the units, which is it's over here somewhere, I guess. It's not great, but it will do. What do we have here? Warriors over here. We can go ahead and attack them. They run away. That gives us another little bit of war support. And in this way we are going to have to erode their support for the war, I suppose. Ooh, we can claim a new wonder. That is good. A lot of them have already been... Wow. Everything has already been claimed for these turns. Or these eras, I should say. The Colossus of Rhodes, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The only thing that is left to us is the Pyramid of the Sun, which provides us plus 20 faith, plus 40 stability, plus 2 food on territories, districts and exploitations. That is actually strong, because we get food on everything that we build. And 100 fame. I'll go ahead and grab this. I'll claim that wonder, because we, well, even without it, we are still in 2nd place for fame, which is in the end, of course, the thing that gives us victory. We cannot catch up with these guys. So we're going to go ahead and get our Agaush to move forward to the front line. As for Urum, then we could go for an archer, but that leaves us with no population. We could build a public fountain, but that takes forever. Literally forever. And why is this so low? Minus 20 stability from Eduba, minus 50 stability from Defiance. Why are we Defiant? Because it just got taken, I think. And I'm curious where I can actually see that we are Defiant. Ah, here, right there. Cultural Osmosis. Ah, that is for one more turn. After that, it disappears and we will go back into being stable. We get another population in one turn, so I think this would be the time to get an archer. Let's end the turn right there. Alright, so we gain a population which is back on food production, apparently. Oh, we have another army of 4. Another scout rider, warriors, and javelin throwers, which is really, really bad. We might be able to scare them off. Yep, alright, cool. These guys are going to stay there. I really hope these guys are not moving over to attack my Agaush there, because I'm going to have to run away from that stuff. Let's go ahead, end the turn.
Is a wonderful thing.
First
Sadly
ship?
for the crew, we're likely to see the first seasickness as well.
Really? Alright, we could build another city for 510, that is not going to work out. We, meanwhile, are being sieged again, but this time the Agaush are in position to help out. We could... Oh, we can endure. Do we, basically we can surrender or we can sortie, which means that we have to attack them. At this point we do have archers, and we have the Agaush. Yeah. If we endure, we will lose stability every turn. Well, we don't have other units to come over and help out. We already don't have a ton of stability, and they could reinforce the battle with even more troops. So I think we have to sortie here. I really do. Let's go ahead for a manual battle. Archers in the back, we have levies over here on the right hand side. We are going to move them back so that enemies cannot attack us from the high ground. They have to attack us on equal level across the river. That is going to be quite important, I would say. And let's end our deployments. Now we have our archers. We need to go ahead and select someone for war. Let's see, -20 on them. These guys cannot attack into the walls, which means we probably want to take care of these warriors. Let's go ahead and attack these guys. Warriors would be priority number 1. Now the Agaush can come in over here, and they can do massive damage against these guys, the scout riders, or decent enough damage against the javelin throwers. And then after that, these guys will probably attack us, but they will have to run up or still move into the river then, so let's actually have them attack the archers. Or javelin throwers, you know what I mean. That is a favorable engagement, I'll take it. We have another Agaush over here. We can actually go ahead and attack these guys for massive damage, but I probably don't want to do that. Probably I want to stay on the defense here, and as for our warriors, we are definitely not attacking with them. We are staying on the defensive. Now that is a favorable engagement, I would say. So these Agaush are in trouble. Ooh, that is a favorable engagement as well. Actually. These guys are going to attack us, pretty sure. Oh no, it's our turn. Perfect. Let's go ahead and have our archers attack these guys once again. Ah, that is perfect. Let's actually sally out, attack these guys with the Agaush. These guys can move back into the city, so nobody can enter it. These guys can completely wipe out those guys over there. Go ahead and do that, actually. At the cost of -3 life, I suppose. That is really, really good. I do not regret that in the slightest, and we might even almost wipe these guys out. This is a decent engagement, I suppose. Let's go for the attack. We can take that hit. these guys were throwing spears against Agaush? I guess so, or against these guys maybe even. Alright, our archers are going to go ahead and attack the warriors. The warriors are the most dangerous unit right now. We can attack these guys for a very favorable engagement. Wipe them out completely, perfect. Let's go ahead and attack the archers with the warriors. And with the Agaush as well. That wipes them out completely, which gives us a victory for a +8 war support and their -8 war support. We lost 0 units and they lost a whole army of 4, which is absolutely great. We're going to heal these guys up, heal these guys up. And then as for Unuk, we are ready to build another thing. We could build a paper mill, +8 industry, +4 influence, and then of course we get the science every time we collect some intel. Food right now is good. We could go for more industry. +12 industry for stoneworks. Really strong. I think that is what we're going to go with, because it also doesn't cost us any stability once it's finished. And that is really nice. Yeah, we need food up in here, I would say. Though in 3 turns, another population, with 22 food per turn, that's already pretty strong. We could go for influence with the pottery workshop. That would take them out of the sphere of influence, though actually they don't have any sphere of influence to be worried about. +5, +9, +0. We could try going for palisades, because palisades are nice. Gonna +9 over here in 7 turns. It's not great. So lumberyard would be good, but since we are at war, maybe the palisades would be better. I think we have to be on the defensive. We have to take that into account. Let's see.
You have a nerve showing your face.
This is pretty decent. They get a -2 from proximity state as attacker, -8 from own units lost, and -1 from declaring war. Whereas us, we have a +8 because of enemy units that are eliminated, which is really nice. Durkurgalzu, meanwhile, I still don't think we're going to be able to do anything with treaties here, except, yeah, trading charter, mercenary charter. That actually could be really good. Well, we have money, we could do that. Or +36 science per turn, which is actually really strong. But this is going to take a lot of influence, and I think I want to move towards that more than anything else. We could go with a little bit more influence, moving towards them, since we already have so much. And another 6 money here as well is pretty decent. Just to speed that process up a little bit. Alright, these guys are definitely going to have to move over to the army so that we can have a strong group. Meanwhile, the walking wounded. During the recent brutal battle, many soldiers sustained horrific, life-changing injuries before returning to Urim. For some, their whole character has changed, becoming aggressive, demented, or unable to bear others' presence. Others suffer physical wounds, some forced to use crutches or carts to move around. Among the citizens, fear mixes with admiration as they spy them on the streets. Your lead will be vital. How do you welcome your crippled soldiers? Now we can glorify them, which provides stability on Urim, or we can exploit them, which gives us patriotic for 10 turns, and it moves us towards the homeland ideological axis, which actually gives us more industry. But in this particular case, just for role-playing purposes, I would say glorify. Because veterans deserve to be honored, basically. Yeah, let's end the turn on them. We'll have these guys move into the same army. Now the Agaush, unified force. I guess we didn't even get the additional combat strength for the Agaush because we didn't have them in the same army. That's kind of interesting.
You have a nerve showing your face.
Alright, they will continue to lose -3 war support per turn. By the looks of it. Well, we basically are stable. We're not losing or gaining anything. That is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Craftsmanship. We can make the Lian Nubing, as well as the charcoal kiln and the artisan workshop. These are both pretty good. Especially the charcoal kiln gives us +1 industry on maker's quarters per adjacent maker's quarters, as well as +1 industry on maker's quarters itself, but we need to have 2 copper and we only have the 1. Meanwhile, I think we want to buy out the stoneworks so we can move on to something else. Food is another problematic thing for right now. Let's actually go ahead and grab the granary. And then we have the last of their line. A troubling truth has emerged regarding the great stable megalopolis of Urim. Many servants from the city's palace have been castrated at the command of the local ruler. These eunuchs are believed to be more loyal, and they are said to play a number of roles from courtier to singer to guard. What is your view on this matter? We can accept this. Moves us towards individualism. I will not accept fucking eunuchs. That is never happening. Even for role-playing purposes, that is just too horrible. We could punish it, which gives us forced labor, +5 industry on Urim at the cost of -5 stability. We don't have a ton of stability, but this does give us, or move us towards authority, which we also don't really want, but it's not going to reduce the maximum, or it's not going to reduce enough for us to lose the benefit. Or we can adopt it, which moves us towards tradition, which I also don't really want. We're punishing on that, for sure. Alright, as for philosophy, we could actually go for fortifications because it improves our defensive units that we get for free as well. In addition to the fact that we can build stone walls rather than palisades, and we can have military camps. +1 combat strength in combat for units in or adjacent to the district or on outpost. That is definitely the way to go. After that, we might actually want to get standing army so that we can get iron, city watch, and swordsman to really drive this war home. Right, we have another army moving up here. We are going to wait for them to attack. Meanwhile, we can upgrade our archers into the Lian Nubing. So definitely, I'm curious about this. We're going to go ahead and do that, because I want to see them in action. They're going to go ahead and station right there. Then we'll end the turn. And then, probably, yeah, there we go with the war. We are going to have to finish this battle. But this is going to be the last turn of this video, because I've been playing for 45 minutes or thereabouts already. We're stronger, we are going to sortie, and we're going to do a manual battle. These guys are definitely going to be right there, and I guess this is the best method of deploying here. The Agaush are going to be attacked from up on high, which is not the worst thing, I suppose. Yeah, it's not great, but we have a river over here, so that kind of balances out. And since we are sortieing, we can actually go ahead and attack them first. We can do massive damage against these guys, actually. Oh wow, -50. That is incredible. Really, really strong. And we can use our Agaush to attack these swordsmen at very little cost to ourselves. These guys, however, are going to have to be on the defensive. So we have some archers attacking our Agaush, which is not great. But them being on the defensive is really useful for us. Yeah, let's wipe out these guys completely, so that we can then have our swordsmen move up onto the high ground, and they can actually go ahead and attack the archers up Yeah, we're going to go ahead and try to take out these guys. Luckily for us, we are successful in that. That means we can move our other Agaush up here. We can attack the swordsman in the rear. I think that is a little bit more important right now than attacking the archers. These guys are going to move up into the terrain or up into this building. We don't want to attack into them, but we are going to move here and then go on the defensive. Or I guess we can't, because we moved. But hey, that's fine. These guys are going to move up onto the high ground and attack them right there. These guys are going to attack them right here. These guys are going to wipe out the swordsman. That's another +8 for us. And we get the military star, which is perfect. As for scientists, we need one more technology to unlock, which will happen in 2 turns. And then we get the expansionist star if we hook up another territory to one of our cities. Or if we build another city, which we will be able to do in 2 turns time. We might actually want to go ahead and do that. These guys are going to heal up. And then in Unuk over here, we are going to build... What do we want to build? 3 turns for +6, +2. It's not great. This is decent, but not really necessary at the moment. The House of Scribes, +1 science per researchers, and +2 research slots. Not really beneficial to us right now. I think we still want to boost industry, but there's no real good places to do so. +5 over here. Paper mill could be decent. +7, +4. Right there, I would say, is pretty good. -10 stability. Well, let's actually go ahead and well, that's +10, but it removes the Makers District. But we don't really lose any production, so that's interesting. So let's actually go ahead and replace that, because why not, right? Fortifications researched. Ooh, an empire has been eliminated. An air star has been unlocked, and a leader, Walinong Sari, the Babylonians, has fallen. Interesting. Now Urim over here has finished building the walls, and after that is done, I think it is time to build something else. Let's go ahead and actually... Ooh, pottery workshop in 1 turn. Let's go ahead and grab that first. Then we have animal magic. As the harvest season draws close, the common folk are worried. With many farms scattered across the empire, last year an infestation of rodents, largely rats and mice, plundered granaries. However, rumors have it that one enterprising village mitigated the problem by using cats. But you also know that sailors use a new kind of predator named a ferret. Which of them will you employ officially? So we can have cats, which moves us towards tradition, which I don't want, or we can use ferrets, which moves us towards progress. Smaller, they'll be more efficient, even if they are more fragile. There we go. As for research, standing army, and that will be the end of this turn. But because I've been playing for so long already, it's time to put the cut in here. So thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.